for 32, almost 33 years. It's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we've built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
All About Bugs Tennessee Pest and Termite Control is all about family too. Our family-owned business has successfully been in operation in Sevierville and surrounding areas for almost a decade. Especially during these times, a pest-free home is necessary for a sustainable, disease-free home or business. Our services include residential, rental, commercial, hotel, motel, cabins, you name it. Free quotes and inspections for new customers, and most of our services are contract-free. Our All About Bugs Tennessee family is devoted to delivering the best possible pest control service with a friendly smile. Contact us at 865-453-5574 today.
If it's bugging you, you should be bugging us.
The lights are brighter, the racing is tighter, and we're bringing it back to basics. It's the All-Star Race, live from the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway, and this is the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series presented by Racing Revolution. I'm your host, Morgan Cook, alongside Alex Gagnon, and we are live on V-Speed.
That we are, Morgan, and it is All-Star Night here for Racing Revolution. Should be a blast after a thrilling race last week. Gonna mix it up, not even in the next-gen Cup cars this week, Morgan. Want to take it back to basics, like you said. Do a little street stock action here at North Wilkesboro. A car and a track that just were built for each other.
Yeah, this North Wilkesboro Speedway, a little short track, and like you mentioned, the street stocks, including the new ones just released yesterday on iRacing, should be enjoyable for the biggest non-points race of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. It is the Chapman Environmental Services All-Star Race. Before we can get to All-Star Racing, we're going to have to go through the format a little bit. We'll get there in just a minute. As we mentioned, no points tonight. Last week, the 300-miler at Charlotte. There are no points on the line this week, but rest assured, Jeremy Burns is still the points leader. Just go ahead and ask him. North Wilkesboro, forgotten by fans and drivers alike. Alex, talk to us about this racetrack.
Yeah, so after a very long and storied history in NASCAR racing, went away in the mid-90s as things grew up around it, and now finds itself back on the schedule, about 20 years and change removed from the last time it was raced on. This little 6/10 of a miler with 13-degree bankings, pretty flat, pretty lumpy and bumpy, but provides a perfect opportunity for these street stocks to go out there and cause some carnage here tonight. And I think we're going to see an absolute blast here. This track built for close quarters racing, and I think we're going to see a lot of it here with the talent that'll be on display from these drivers.
And let's talk about how we're going to see it. Couple different things to keep in mind here tonight. All-Star race, a lot of these drivers already locked into the event that is going to happen after the one we're about to see. We are currently waiting for the Open to start here in about 30 seconds. Drivers have just qualified. We're going to have 2 races in this section of the program. We're going to have one with all 9 drivers on the racetrack. The winner of that race is going to move on to the All-Star race. We're going to rack them up and do it one more time. Each of these races will be 30 laps. The winner of the second race will also go to the All-Star race. Everyone else packs their bags and goes home for the evening. Once this race is completed, we will transition over to the other session where it has all of the big stars you came to see, and they will go race for the prize here at the All-Star race. But now it's time to grid. We are getting out. Above this North Wilkesboro Speedway. Ready to rumble here. This should be exciting, Alex. I am looking forward to everything that short track racing has to offer. Not a ton of cars on the track right now. A couple of these came straight out of the junkyard. Look at the back of this pack. This should be a blast here tonight.
Yeah, you get together what you can. You got 30 laps to try and go out there and make something happen on the racetrack. Winner of this heat moves on to the main event later tonight. They'll take whoever's left, rack them up for one more heat. Winner of that will move on to the main event. So if you're someone like John Fike or Tyler Harrison in pretty good position at the start here, as already you see Holloway throwing a little bit of a shot to the back bumper of the 45. These guys are amped up and ready to go, and we haven't even caught the green flag yet.
I was wrong. There is candy on the side of the 21. The Junior Mints.
Ah.
Yes, very good. The Harry Gant scheme fooled me. Yes. And we are in the restart zone, and we are green in the All-Star Open. Out to the early lead is John Fike, one of the more interesting racetracks that you're going to see at a diamond this turn two. The exits, there's a bump there, the straightaways go different directions and different heights and different elevations. It's really quite a unique racetrack. This is one of the places that stock car racing was really born from.
And you see right now Fike off to the early advantage from that pole spot. Those who are able to start on the inside seem to have a little bit of the edge. You see Holloway started 4th. He's already back to 6th. Now make it 7th as he worked his way back to the inside line, but it took some time to get there. So right now, those on the inside line having that advantage. Hughes 2nd, Hudgens 3rd. Then a big battle here for 5th on back. Chris Nail got a mirror full of Picklesheimer and the 21 of Holloway. Those two cars making contact early. True short track racing out here. Not a lot of room to go out there and make something happen. You might just have to start moving people out of the way if you start running out of laps.
Little outside wall contact there for the 43, which looks like it just got pulled out of Dale Jr.'s backyard. That thing is a little rusty, a little beat up. But that is, I believe, the brand new car that they just unveiled today, I believe, or yesterday, I think. That Pontiac on the outside. To add on to that, I mean, these cars completely different from what these drivers use. Oh, we're sideways into turn 1 on a regular basis. A lot less horsepower. And the tires are much more narrow, and they are quite a bit stiffer, it looks like, on the right side. As that 43 is drifted for this is the 3rd corner in a row. He's probably going to want to get a tire underneath him here in just a minute, wearing out the outside wall.
Yeah, wearing out those outside tires as well, all types of loose as he made his way off of each of these past couple corners. He's got the 48 at Johnston right behind him as well. On board here with Picklesheimer. Just trying to get some sort of stability in this race car right now, but it's not the first time he's come off of 4 in the past couple laps and hasn't clipped the wall. Going for the over-under here on Holloway.
And around they go. Oh, big slide for the 43. Not quite as bad for the 21, but we are losing the nose piece on that 43. Yeah, he
all that rust.
That was, yeah, it just done fell off. That was I would say inevitable. With how loose that 43 was into the corner. And he put a little bit of wheel into it, and it was a little bit too much for Mr. Picklesheimer. Let's go back and have a look, although we all saw that one pretty clearly. This is 1 lap previous. This is from the blimp camera up here. 43 on the top side, going to try a crossover. 48's trying to move the 21 out of the way a little bit there. Didn't quite work. Just go for the crossover, go for a bit of the lunge, and just too much rear brake in it. And then he chased it up into the side of the 21. Really kind of a no harm, no foul caution, if I had to say so myself. Just little damage to both cars, especially at this style racetrack, but it happens.
Yeah. But with how short that this heat is, losing track position like the 43 did or the 21 did there, certainly not ideal. I'm going to put him in a bit of a hole here for the rest of this opening heat.
Well, the
Might
good
have
news
a chance
is,
in the second heat here.
like you said, second
right now,
heat right away. That's what you have to hang your hat on right now if you're the 21 and the 48, is that, especially as the 21 who qualified 4th, you got the raw pace. It's just put it together in the second heat. This one is more of a test session right now.
Yeah, so John Fike holding on to the lead right now. He's led each of these opening laps. But now that everyone's had a few laps to kind of get the car under him here under racing conditions, wonder if anyone's going to be trying to be a bit more aggressive on the restart, now knowing what their car can and can't handle. I mean, it's a toasty one out there, 75 degrees outside, but 100 degrees on track. Gonna make it a little slick out there.
And no wonder these skinny tires, as you can see on the back of that 10, just how skinny these rear tires are. No wonder they aren't hooking up to this 100-degree Fahrenheit racetrack. Again, 1 corner, out of turn 2 you go up a hill, out of turn 4 you go down a hill. I think I got that right. Makes the entry to the next corner a lot more interesting than if this place was perfectly flat. Pace car is off, about to go green here. Second restart, and the 10 is on the pedal. Good jump.
Hudgens made a good move to the inside there, trying to get under and around Hughes. Gonna at least get alongside him here as Harrison now marred back behind them both. Nice little move there from the 84. Got that thing really pointed off the corner. Nice little drive forward right now from the 84 of Hudgens, trying to get his way up there. If he can clear the 61, but big slide there. It's easier said than done out there right now.
Yeah, big free was the 84 off in turn 2. He's going to lose 1 spot, maybe slide back another one if Harrison's able to keep it rolling up on that top side. But Fike is driving away. It's a little over half a second at this moment, and with only 19 laps to go, that is going to be difficult to make up.
Yeah, all this battle in between each other for second, while compelling as it is letting John Fike pull away just a little bit. Now Hughes looks like he's got it sorted at least for second. Harrison and Hudgens going to pick up this battle for third. Can the 61 try to reel in the leader here now that he's got a little bit clean track in front of him?
Shot off the front bumper of the 84. You can just see kind of how aggressive this racetrack is. You talked about it being bumpy and it being rough and some of the elevation changes. You can see it right off of that front fascia is where everyone is sliding into turn one. This is going to be an exciting night all the way around. Harrison's on the outside wall. These cars don't go very fast. They're tanks. They don't handle well. Racing's what racing ought to be.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of action through the field there. Harrison and Hudgens battling it out. Johnston having to throw the block there on Picklesheimer. The 84 contact with the 45. Trying to get themselves sorted out down the backstretch. A little bit of pack racing forming out here. 2 by 2 they go.
Yeah, the 84 is holding this whole pack up here. You can see the 61 has scooted ahead there by about a second. Hudgens, this four-wheel slide into turn one is really holding up this pack as Harrison, Nail, Picklesheimer, Johnson have all caught up. And not too far back is Wayne Lowe in the 34. Oh, there goes Johnston.
Oh, the 48's around.
Keep it
Parker
right.
Johnston.
Get it
into the
righted. We're
inside
still
wall.
under green. And we will stay green somehow. Good save.
That 48 car, I don't know if it was necessarily a save. It helped saving the caution, but did not save that machine as it piled into the inside wall. No one behind him, though, for trigger the caution. And that's why there's 2 heats tonight. In case calamity befalls you in one, you get one more crack at it.
And a short track race, anything can and will happen. Just over halfway. Oh, there goes the 21 again. Second time this evening. A little bit loose in the middle of 3 and 4. John Fike continues to lead. 0.8 of a second is his lead over Hughes. There is your leader. Frank Hughes Jr. is in second. We got a good battle for third here. Harrison finally got around Hudgens. It's working on him for about 10 laps now. Hudgens going to go to the top side, maybe cross him over here. Oh, crossover indeed. Almost.
Oh, there he goes into the wall.
Spins around here. I think he's going to be okay. Maybe no caution. Keep it righted. Good stuff. No caution.
And looks like he'll be able to at least retain position over the 48.
Chris Nail up
A couple of cars now with some issues in this stint.
Right. Chris Nail is in 4th spot. Picklesheimer, after crashing in the first stint, he is up to 5th. Holloway, his crashing partner, is up to 6th. Hudgens, who we just saw go for a ride on the backstretch, he is 7th. And Parker Johnston finds himself in 8th. Wayne Lowe is currently out of this Open. Open Constellation 1? Open 1? Not sure what to call this race at this moment.
I would say, yeah, probably open, either Open 1 or the Heat 1 of the Open. One of those.
It's hard to say. Regardless, brought to you by Racing Revolution and the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series. We're all glad to be here. I mean, just love all-star racing, like short track racing. This is a lot of fun. And I think these drivers they're either really enjoying themselves or they really dislike the admins for making this the combination. It's hard to say. You'll have to ask them after the race.
I think it'll
Alex.
be on a driver-by-driver basis. If you're a guy like John Fike, I think you're pretty happy with that decision. To see the 43 nearly lose it off in turn 2. But if you're someone like the 43 or further on back, maybe you're a little less happy with this current arrangement.
It may be directly related to your finishing position. That's probably a good estimate. So a quick look through the
Certainly
field.
doesn't hurt.
I think every car's got damage at this point in the event, except for our leader, John Fike, and maybe Frank Hughes Jr. doesn't have any damage either. The 61 looking pretty sharp right now.
Oh, boy.
that's
into
the
the wall hard there, the 45.
He crab walked that thing all the way off of turn 2, and he caught that wall pretty good.
No doubt about that. He pancaked the right side of that machine. Was running third, still holding on to third, but lost a lot of ground up to Hughes and Fike. So with 5, soon to be 4 to go, John Fike looks like he'll be able to take care of business and lead every lap of this one, barring something crazy happening in the last couple laps.
This has been pretty good showing here for the 10. What I like about being in the open is that you get the practice, you know, that the drivers in the All-Star race maybe don't get in the heat of competition. You get to see what guys are going to do center of the corner off, and how they're going to diamond different corners, and the lines that they run on worn tires that you just can't replicate with single car runs in practice. So this might be beneficial for John Fike, or the big detriment being that he's going to start all the way at the back if he can close out these last 3 laps.
Yeah, now coming off of 4 to make it 2 to go. Hughes, once he got free of that battle for second, has been running about equivalent lap times to Fike, within a 1/10 of a second every time, but just has not been able to really reel him in like he's been wanting to. You see, he cut the gap down a little bit that time around, but he's really pushing it, trying to reel him in here, cut another 1/10 off. Will he have anything here in this final lap?
Going to be tough to gain 6/10 in 1 lap at Wilkesboro, but crazier things have happened. Big slide off at turn 2, but into turn number 3, John Fike in that 10. Rolls the center at 3 and 4. Up off the corner. He is going to win heat number 1 at the Open.
Dominating fashion as well from that number 10 machine. Went out there, took care of business with the win in the opening heat. Frank Hughes Jr., Tyler Harrison, the podium finishers, but only thing that matters right now is that one driver has just locked himself into the main event later tonight, and the other 8 cars will have to try it again in heat number 2, starting in just a moment.
Speaking of heat number 2, let's get into your starting grid. Very similar to the finishing order of the last race, if you hadn't guessed already. That is in the wrong spot. That's better. John Fike is not in this race. We are having ATVO issues, naturally.
Well,
we're just
we
going to
can
get
just
rid
do
of
the
that.
quick rundown from the Skycam here.
That's a good
Looks like
idea.
Frank Hughes Jr. and Tyler Harrison going to be your front row here tonight. Chris Nail and Daniel Holloway, row 2, Dylan Picklesheimer and Parker Johnston. In row 3, Devin Hughes will be rolling off in the 4th position, or in the 4th row, inside position there. Then Wayne Lowe will be the last car on track. If that 34 machine takes to the field, he would be rolling off in 8th.
Looks like we are not going to have Wayne Lowe in this second field. Same drivers on the track, minus your race 1 winner, John Fike. Everyone else fighting for the last transfer spot into the main event, which will take place right after this. What do you expect to see out of this, Alex?
I think we're going to see it be a little more aggressive. I think with the 10 car out of the field, it's going to bunch up some of these drivers a little bit. And now knowing this is their last chance to make the actual main event tonight, if they're able to keep pace with whoever takes the lead early, I think we'll see it be a pretty physical battle to the end, while that opening heat was a little more getting a feel for the car.
Yeah, looking forward to just more short track racing here. Obviously, see a couple cars fit for the junkyard. Even before we started racing that last race, I think we only had 2 drivers who had not hit anything out of the 9 that started. I expect that to be a similar sort of pattern here in this one. Short track racing always provides a lot of action, a lot of contact, and these cars are basically tanks on wheels. Is into the restart zone. Hughes Jr. on the pedal. We are rolling up North Wilkesboro, 3 wide into turn 1. I do not advise.
Boy.
Oh, we're done. We're done.
Oh,
We're
boy,
wrecking.
there they go. Yep.
Round to go.
Picklesheimer losing out early. No caution, though. We continue. The 43 tried making a 3 wide. It backfired ultimately for him more than anybody else. And Frank Hughes Jr. takes the point here.
We are single file for the top 6. Harrison's trying to take a wide exit, get a little momentum going. Chris Nail might pounce if he does that one more time. Hughes Jr. slowly walking away. Half a second now is the gap, first to second. Only one spot matters in this race, and it's the winning one.
We know Frank Hughes Jr. can run a pretty steady race when, with there being clean track in front of him. He ran a very clean opening heat that he finished second in. As the point here, looking through the field though, on board there with the 21 of Daniel Holloway. Driver who qualified pretty high, had issues early on in that opening heat. Now trying to work his way back up. It's been a long start to the open here for the 21 machine. Trying to find some sort of semblance of a passing opportunity here on Chris Nail, but just does not have the speed he needs right now to close into his back bumper.
This is a tough racetrack to pass somebody at, one of the more difficult ones on the circuit. I think most drivers would agree with that. The line, it's not quite a single groove racetrack. You have about a groove and a half to work with as we see Chris Nail go give it an attempt here, but turn 1 is the best passing opportunity, you think, until you get to turn 2 and the car on the bottom just made that crazy dive. They all of a sudden have nowhere to go, it's just grass. And then the car on the outside gets a great run down the backstretch, and then in turn 3 and 4 you're trying to play catch up. That's a common theme here at Wilkesboro. A lot of drivers have already felt that and will feel that for the rest of this event.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Chris Nail, though, almost had an opportunity to get a nose to the inside of Harrison going into 3. That 88 car trying to get something going. Wasn't able to that time by. Just behind them, Holloway's got a lot of friends in his mirror right now. Hudgens and Johnston both crowding the mirror of that 21 machine for 4th.
All drivers who have spun at some point in this event trying to rebound and redeem themselves from those incidents. Almost all of them single car spins with very little damage. Everyone slides into turn 1. It's quite a sight.
Car's just really disconnected from the track as you see Hudgens trying to take a dive to the inside there of Holloway. Was he able to make it stick? He's still to the inside here of the 21. That slow battle for track position continues. The 84 wicked sideways.
He's
Looks like he's
wheeling
gonna
it.
be able to catch it. Can't make the pass just yet though. Man, that car was almost 45 degrees around when he got that thing to snap back.
And he got him. If you can get to their inside in 3 and 4, you can complete the pass. These cars don't have any power to run that top side, but through turns 1 and 2, it's very difficult to get it to rotate. You can see the 48 struggling with it right now. If you can't get it to rotate, you have to lift out of the throttle. The car on the outside, the 21 in this case, is able to roll the center better. But out of 3 and 4, it's bottom or nothing. Oh, there goes the 21 again.
Oh, 21 lost it.
Caution is still not in the flagman's hand.
Wow, he really said we're putting it away, even though that 21 spun directly in front of Picklesheimer. We stay under green. Hughes at the front, 8/10 clear of Chris Nail, who got around Tyler Harrison.
Big moment.
Chris Nail find.
for
Oh,
88.
nope. I was about to say, can he rally? No, he can't. Big spin almost.
A big moment out of turn 2. Harrison's to his outside, and I think Nail's just going to give this spot up. He is. Let Harrison go fight for a little while. Both of them over a second behind your leader, Frank Hughes Jr., who has put on a clinic in race number 2. So a quick through your field. Only 7 cars. Should be pretty speedy. Frank Hughes Jr. led every single lap so far from the pole in the 61. Tyler Harrison finds himself second, leading the parade in the 45. Chris Nail just had a moment. He is in 3rd. Devin Hudgens finds himself in 4th. Good rebound so far for this driver. Parker Johnston in the Trevor Project 48. He is 5th. Picklesheimer, after an early spin, finds himself 6th. Daniel Holloway, after a more recent spin, finds himself in 7th. And that is your field for open race number 2.
Right now, everything going the way Frank Hughes would like it. to try and qualify for the main event after this race tonight. In good shape, 1.4 seconds ahead. A little onboard action here, and you can see what he is seeing off the nose of that car right now as they make their way into 3 and 4. Just how much this car kind of shakes side to side with the way this place is paved, and with how thin those tires are, you really feel that motion as you work your way back up the track.
Just how little grip there is. You can hear the tires squealing on through your mobile device right now, and they're feeling it in the race car, just slipping and sliding every which way. I mean, you're four-wheel sliding it into every corner, just hoping that it will stick the way that you expect it to, and that's how you drive this car.
Oh boy.
Maybe not quite that
Hudgens
much.
got really bottled up. '84 had gotten right to the back bumper and nail, had nowhere to go, nearly lost it in 2. And that opened the door for Johnston to try and close in here. 48 getting way deep to the inside of 1 and 2. The 84 doesn't give it to him though, and Hudgens begins to pull away.
Yeah, that's a dangerous move by the 48 going that low. It's easy to miss the corner, easy to get an awful exit. As you can see, he's already lost about a second off the back of the 84. I would not advise that line into turn number 1, but hey, I'm up in the booth, not in the draw. Oh, there goes the 48 right there. He's going to spin sideways. Still no caution. I wonder if they are off for this. No, there's the caution. Caution is out.
Trying
9
to get
go.
that thing turned around, but now the caution flag flies.
Well, this changes everything.
Yeah, it does. Frank Hughes more or less had this thing under control, and the restart, well, they weren't charging any laps under the yellow flag condition in Heat 1. So when we restart, it'll be 9 laps to go in this heat. You see the 48 gets way deep into the corner there. That was when we were talking about that dangerous entry into 1 and 2. And then back around the track they go as they make their way into turns 1 and 2 again. That's where this car gets out of sort and ultimately loops it on the backstretch.
Yeah, just a fairly normal entry, maybe a little bit lower than I think a lot of drivers would expect, but it's right there. You got to put a lot of wheel in it to get it to turn. And it just back end stepped out, and then he couldn't get it righted in time to not have the caution come out. So simple car spin, nothing too crazy to worry about, no damage. 48 be able to keep it rolling.
And the 48 going to bring it down pit road. Those tires, I'm sure, are a little toasty at the moment.
You could probably roast marshmallows off of them, is how hot they would be.
You know, having a little bit of rubber for your marshmallows, good, right? S'mores with a little bit of rubber, good for your digestive tract, I have no doubt.
Hopefully there's no nutritionist watching, but possibly. Yeah. I don't know. If motor oil runs through your veins, then why not rubber on your s'mores?
Yeah, you know, it's the natural course of events, and you know, we here at V-Speed do not have any nutritionists on staff, so that may be why that information is or is not correct.
No, we only have broadcasters and producers on staff. I'm your host, Morgan Cook, as always. Alex Gagnon, nutritionist for the night. Obviously live on V-Speed here. Racing Revolution's Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series All-Star Race Open number 2. About to set the field, the final spot for the All-Star Race. This driver who wins this event will start last in the All-Star Race directly following this one. We will deal with that here, and I would imagine about 20 minutes is that when that race will get underway. We will deal with that when we get there. Green flag is out once again. Great launch for the 61. So we got 9 laps to figure it out.
Oh boy, a little bit of contact with Harrison and Hughes. The 45 gets way up the track. Harrison, I think, may have got a little bit of help there from the 88 as everything got bottlenecked in the 1.
Oh, Hughes loose. Harrison's loose. Big block down the front stretch.
Down the track.
Everyone's sliding. Everyone's getting
up
moved.
The track. Look at this mess.
Hang on to it, Harrison.
Again. First time Hughes made a wrong move all night, was getting loose off of 4. Luckily for him, everyone else in the field got loose off of 4. Didn't cost him. His contact there, Hudgens shoving Nail up the track.
Big moment for the
84
61.
Erhardt's third.
Harrison is there. Gonna give him a little bit of a how do you do? Oh, put him on the curb.
Almost turned him.
Now Hudgens has a shot.
Boy, look at that. That's about to be ugly.
We're dooring each other. Picklesheimer's off the racetrack.
Picklesheimer in the grass.
He's just taking the
3
scenic
wide
route.
off 2. I think Hughes might be able to escape with all the carnage going on behind him. Look at Johnston making it 3 wide.
Oh, put Nail in the wall. Johnston's
now they're in the
around.
wall.
Oh,
Nail and Johnston
big
heavy
hit.
into the outwall.
Oh, that's not good for it at all. We're going to re-rack him, do it again. 5 laps to go. Harrison gets another shot at him. Let's go back and see what the heck happened there.
Yeah, I mean, there's any number of things we could watch. I mean, the caution started with the 48 and the 88, but realistically, with the way they all were driving, it could have started with anybody. But it starts here with this 3 wide situation. Looks like the 21 tried moving up to the middle lane. The 48 and the 88 had nowhere to go.
I'm not sure if the 21 knew they were there. This is the lap before. You can see Picklesheimer moving the 84, who's moving the 45. Picklesheimer goes for a ride down in the grass, and everyone's loose. Every car's twitchy. No one's handling well, and everyone's going for it with only 5 laps to go. Replay of the incident here.
Just kind of materializes at the bottom of 3 wide. They were side by side most of that lap, and then the 88 has to get checked up a little bit through 3 and 4. They all find themselves in line with each other off the corner, and as Holloway tries moving up the track to not have a compromised exit, just costs everybody else.
Oh, we're cooling the tires in the grass. We are on the backstretch. Frank Hughes Jr. taking the path less traveled. Not sure what we're going to have to say about that later. Maybe we'll see that in the big show. But, you don't see that too often here in stock car racing, driving through the grass to keep things cool, but to each their own.
This will be a really interesting restart. I think the 61 looked unbeatable through most of this opening part of the race. And then on that couple lap stint, he got hounded a couple times by Harrison, who was not afraid to try and lay the bumper into him. And if the 45 didn't get loose off of 4 at the same time the 61 did, Hughes might not have the lead. So I think he's going to have to face a lot of contact out here in this closing couple laps. I do not think these drivers are going to be too afraid to really lean on each other. It's going to be a matter of survival of the strongest, I think. Whoever's got the most car left at the end of it.
And what do you have to lose?
One step away from a demo derby.
Right. What do you have to lose by sending them there a little bit deep on the open here? If it doesn't work, you're not going to race anymore tonight. You're done for the evening. If it does work, you may get a shot at getting in the All-Star race and running well in the All-Star race. But I think this 45, he's got to get this restart perfect and this first lap perfect, because he has really great short run speed. But I think Hughes could drive away if things don't go well. Great launch for the 61 again down to the turn 1.
Oh, and Harrison digging way down low. Try getting all the way down there.
Picklesheimer's
around.
There he is, and caution is
And
out.
Caution's out. Well, chalk up +1 position there for Chris Nail. They'll move up from 7th to 6th. And with laps that do not tick away under yellow, only 1 lap has gone by. Hughes now going to have to try and nail another restart to get separation from the 45 and the 21.
There it is off of the door of the 48. Just a little bit loose. Nothing too crazy to watch from the restart. See what happened here. Not a great start for the 40s. We might have missed a shift. Same with Hudgens. I think Hudgens did miss a shift. Yeah, 48 pinched him down a little bit. 43 wanted to come up, and around goes the 43 of Picklesheimer.
I'll have you know, under the break there, I figured I'd take a quick look in to see if there was any nutritional content of rubber. And let me tell you, I found an article that was written in so many higher level science words that I got more confused than when I Googled it. So we're just going to chalk it up as, yeah, maybe don't eat it and everything will be good.
Definite maybe. That's what I like to hear. Can neither confirm nor deny here on the V-Speed broadcast if rubber is safe to eat. So let's just not, and that'll be great. Anyway,
Let's not and say that we didn't.
perfect. Rolling through turn 2 here. It's going to be loopy all night, folks. This is just an interesting format, kind of a laid back Friday or Saturday night local short track sort of vibe here, and that's what it feels like in the booth right now. Here on V-Speed. Pace car is going to turn left here right away. There it goes. And there goes Hughes again.
Holloway got a pretty good, decent launch to follow him in the 1 here.
Harrison on the top side. He's going to get the run. He's going to clear 4-second spot. Big drive into turn number 3. He's going to get to the bottom. And he is on the back bumper, about a car length behind the 61. He's only got 3 more chances at it. Oh, 48's around.
48
Right
way
in
up
front
the
of
track.
Picklesheimer.
Picklesheimer collects Johnston.
Still green.
Will that bring out the caution?
Still green. Gonna keep watching it here. No caution. White flag is out. Hughes is going for it. Looks like he's going to get it. Holloway and Harrison are up in the outside wall. But Frank Hughes Jr. rolls through turn 3, center of 3 and 4. Off of the corner, he is going to win the consolation race at the Open. He will start in your All-Star race from the back of the field. Congratulations, Frank Hughes Jr. You are the final All-Star race entrant.
And he was the driver at the front for most of this. Got a little dicey toward the end, but he was able to make it happen when it mattered most.
There are the
Frank
results.
Hughes Jr. going to be moving on. Holloway and Nail wrecking each other on pit road as your podium finishers. Neither one going to be able to advance to the main event tonight.
That is good for it. Anyway, we are going to get those off your screen. We are going to be right back with a presentation of your actual All-Star race. Just bear with us a few minutes while we hop into that other session. You are watching the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series, their All-Star race here at North Wilkesboro. Be back right after this.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
Cabot.
Where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man. Winston Auto Club.
So Chapman's been around for 32, almost 33 years. You know, it's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
All About Bugs Tennessee Pest and Termite Control is all about family too. Our family-owned business has successfully been in operation in Sevierville and surrounding areas for almost a decade. Especially during these times, a pest-free home is necessary for a sustainable, disease-free home or business. Our services include residential, rental, commercial, hotel, motel, cabins, you name it. Free quotes and inspections for new customers, and most of our services are contract-free. Our All About Bugs Tennessee family is devoted to delivering the best possible pest control service with a friendly smile. Contact us at 865-453-5574 today.
If it's bugging you, you should be bugging us.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Mr. Marty's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The ball gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series presented by Racing Revolution, or All-Star Night here at North Wilkesboro in the street stocks. Throwing it back to basics, going a little bit old school here in this session. We are just setting up this new session here, so we will throw it on the waiting screen for a few minutes. Go get your popcorn, go get your snacks, your sodas, your cold beverages, and get ready to enjoy some great racing. 75 laps. We'll get that up on the screen here. 75 laps with one tire set available here at North Wilkesboro. The best of the best in this league are going to throw down here in just a few minutes. But sit back, relax, and enjoy. We'll be back with you here in the next few minutes. See you then.
for 32, almost 33 years. It's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we've built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
All About Bugs Tennessee Pest and Termite Control is all about family too. Our family-owned business has successfully been in operation in Sevierville and surrounding areas for almost a decade. Especially during these times, a pest-free home is necessary for a sustainable, disease-free home or business. Our services include residential, rental, commercial, hotel, motel, cabins, you name it. Free quotes and inspections for new customers, and most of our services are contract-free. Our All About Bugs Tennessee family is devoted to delivering the best possible pest control service with a friendly smile. Contact us at 865-453-5574 today.
If it's bugging you, you should be bugging us.
We are back here, North Wilkesboro, for the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series All-Star Race. Tonight, you get 3 for the price of 1. 3 races in this one broadcast. Should be a thrilling last 75 laps we have here in the main event from the racetrack they call North Wilkesboro. Great little racetrack they got here, revived by Dale Jr. Went out and picked the weeds himself, among other volunteers and race fans and whatever have you. We're here on B-Speed, as always. I'm Morgan Cook, alongside Alex Gagnon. Say hello, Alex.
Hey, what's up, Morgan? We're only a couple minutes away from start of the main event here, and only a couple minutes removed from the heat races. And I think after watching these opening heat races, I'm excited to see what happens in this main event. These cars look like a handful to drive tonight, and with a full field in the main event, it's going to become that much more chaotic.
Definitely a lot of slipping and sliding out here on this North Wilkesboro racetrack. Even in practice, we got drivers wrecking all over the place. Let's quickly look at your race analysis, as we have about 2:45 left until we grid for the big show tonight. We just finished the heats, 30 laps each. Those will determine the last 2 drivers on the grid. John Fike and Frank Hughes Jr. respectively are going to start in those positions. The main event we're about to see here in 2.5 minutes. 75 laps. You get 1 change of tires, not that you'll probably need them on this car at this track. The field is made up of winners since the last All-Star race last year, including fan favorite Jeremy Burns, as well as Robert Rader, who are at the top of the points right now. And playoff drivers from last season as well are invited to this event, adding to the 2 drivers who qualified their way in earlier in the show. So with all that being said, have a look at the schedule going forward, just so that we kind of know where we're at in the season. This was supposed to be an off week on the calendar. Obviously, we talked about that last week. Coke 600 in real life had other plans for these drivers, as this All-Star race was supposed to be 2 weeks ago, May 22nd. But next week, we travel to wine country, Sonoma, California, turn left and right for the 2nd time this season. We'll see what happens there on that very flowy, twisty, and elevation-changing track in California. Alex, what do you think we are going to witness here in the next, or in about a minute from now, here at Wilkesboro?
Well, based off of the first 2 heats that we saw, that first one was pretty clean. People weren't trying to force the issue too much, and overall things were relatively calm. Then we got the Heat 2, where it was an absolute mess. People were flying off each other, flying off the wall, spinning each other out. Not intentionally, mind you, just everyone was going for it every lap, and there was some spills and thrills in that second heat. So I think we'll see a similar dichotomy play out here tonight, where in the main event, maybe the first half or so, people are a little calm. And then as we get closer to the end and people realize that, the All-Star race is starting to run out of time, maybe people then are going to get a little more adamant about pushing people out of the way.
Well, I'm watching drivers in practice drift all the way around this racetrack, so I don't know if I agree with the calm before the storm. I think it's just going to storm here at North Wilkesboro. But with all that being said, we're going to get down trackside and give away our Coastal Financial Pole Award to the driver of the 53.
So 15 cars about to do battle in this Racing Revolution Chapman Environmental Series All-Star Race. And we've got some of the series best ready to do battle here tonight.
Jeremy Burns doesn't even have headlights. It's just duct tape. I'm excited. I mean, we're talking short track racing. Look at that. Look at that car. That's a beauty. Short
There's
track
a lot
racing.
of good ones out there.
Here, these cars came straight out of their local junkyard, and they just put some paint on the side. I see a Quebec flag back there in the 19. That could be an advertisement. We're not going to get into that too much. And behind him, the 22, who I actually don't know who that is, because there is no 22 on my... Oh, there's Travis Gilbert. There it is. On timing and scoring. Very clean and shiny is the 22. So is the 39. Just a bunch of beautiful cars out here tonight. We're about to see a barn burner.
22 in traffic.
Not at all. About to see a barn burner here at North Wilkesboro. As Raider gets the signal, and they're side by side in turn 1. Oh, Forget, a bit of an issue. Let's check out this entire field.
Yeah, stacked up about 2 rows behind him. That's where everything got really bottled up. Looks like everyone gets through turn 1 okay, though.
3 wide off at turn 2.
3 wide in the back of the field.
Yeah, I don't know how we're getting through this right now. We're still 3 wide. We saw a caution, a big one, happen because of this in the first event. Raiders going to squeak out in front ahead of Burns. Orlando Jr. is in third. Grant Turner are going to make a move here on Forget. Oh, Forget's loose already. Oh, big wreck back there.
Oh, big wreck.
Bunch
in the
of
back
cars
of the field.
around. The
Justice
12.
Murphy into the inside wall.
Let's go see what happened to the 12. So here off of turn 2, he's inside of Fike.
Fike and Circovich.
Oh,
Circovich
18.
is into the grass.
Out in the grass, get a little help from the 10. And then cross over the 1. 61's involved. So I think there was 5 cars involved in that incident. Here on lap 4 of 75 in the big show here, the All-Star race.
Not the way those drivers wanted to start this one. I have no doubt about that. That's a third of the field collected in this lap 4 incident. Some of them with very minor damage, some of them significantly heavier damage that will not buff out so easily.
Well, the good news is they were already bent when they showed up to the racetrack, so I wouldn't be too worried about little cosmetic damage on the front fascia of that 12. I think he's going to be just fine. There you see. I think he got all 4 corners in that incident. Looking good out there in the Halvoline. Number 12. See if he comes to pit road here, maybe. He will not. Just cycle to the back, probably.
You'd have to believe so. This field definitely a little stacked up out of order at the moment. Murphy is scored actually a lap down at the moment.
I don't think he's able to get it righted by the time Robert Raider caught up to him. But let's do a quick through your field after 6 laps. Oh, caution laps are counting. For this one, Robert Raider, your leader at the moment. Jeremy Burns is in second. Kevin Orlando Jr. is third. 27. Look at the flames. This is great. Grant Turner, Hot Wheels. If I remember back to February, I believe Grant Turner won the very first race of the season by driving past 11 cars on the final lap to win at the Coliseum. You might be able to see that again tonight since it is another non-points event. Alex Forget, he is in the Quebec, number 19 in 5th. Travis Gilbert, Winn-Dixie 22, very bright, hard to lose that one. He is in 6th. Carter Linz, Silver Bullet, he is in 7th. Trevor Keith, shiny blue car, he is in 8th. Nick Alves, 24, is 9th. And Trevor Erhardt is in 10th.
Yeah, Matt Robinson back here in 11th, up a couple spots despite being a small part of that incident. John Fike in 12th, just ahead of the 18 there, and Jacob Circovich. Or sorry, actually Frank Hughes will be moving up into 13th here. Circovich now 14th. One of the cars heavily involved in that incident. Same with the 12 of Justice Murphy. That car already looking like a car that's been through the ringer here at this short track, and we're only a handful of laps in. When we go back to green flag racing in just a moment, we'll be taking lap 9 of 75.
I'll tell you what, it's not going to get any better. If it's not going well for you yet, I don't know if that luck's going to turn around. Raiders on the loud pedal. Burns gets an excellent start, however. They are side by side, and Burns is actually going to take the lead into turn number 1. And out of 2. Gary Burns at the point.
Power move from the 9. Hadn't seen that all night through the open heats or the start of this race. That outside lane taking the lead off the restart for the first time tonight. The 9 takes it. Now Turner and Orlando in a good battle for third as they're 2 by 2.
Oh, huge wall contact. 39 and 19 both tag the wall in the exit to turn 2. Damage not too severe, but that is going to impact their momentum, and these are fully momentum-based cars. They got very little power. Oh, big slides out here for these drivers.
Oh man, 39 wheeling it right now. Grant Turner putting this car all over the track right now.
We're nose to tail on the outside line. Oh, that I thought he was going to pound the wall again off of turn 4. Try to get to the inside of Gilbert. It's not going to happen. Gilbert closes the door. That's going to make the 39 slide a little bit.
Oh,
3
boy.
wide.
How are they going to get
4
that
wide.
sorted out? Here comes Trevor Keith as well. Oh, everyone's bouncing.
Great
Grant
save.
Turner, pinball in there.
Terrific save. Got to remember, he's using a formula wheel by Thrustmaster, not an oval wheel like everybody else. So that's a really powerful move by the 39, able to keep that thing pointed in the right direction. Good work on him. "13 laps in, Jeremy Burns leads. Robert Rader right behind him. Seen this a lot this year. These two have kind of dominated the season to this point. Kevin Orlando Jr. 0.6 back in the 3rd spot.
What's happened to the nose of the 27? Looks like someone hit it with a hammer.
I think he was the hammer. Thought we had a battle for the
Kevin
lead.
the Hammer Orlando Jr.
That's a good one. I like that. Fike moving through the field. He's up to the 10th spot. Trying to work around Erhardt. We got big loose on the outside. Good save for him. Frank Hughes
That
Jr.
10 car
has actually
so
moved ahead of the
fast.
10.
Yeah, I'm about to say, both the 61 and the 10 were so fast in the heats. I was so focused on Fike being up from 14th to 10th, didn't even realize, to your point, Hughes is up to 8th from 15th. Granted, he was not really involved a ton in that opening incident on lap 4, but that 61 car dialed in right now. Look at him cutting his way through the field.
Looking at the track temp, it has dropped significantly, 12 degrees or 18 degrees since we had started the event. So that will probably help the lap times get a little bit faster, as we are quite a bit quicker, about 2 tenths faster than the open races. 2 individual battles, one for the lead, one for the 3rd spot, and both of them are about that close. Move the driver in front of you. Try and get around him.
It's crazy how much those top 2 cars have opened it up from the rest of the
Oh,
field.
big move. Huge loose for the 22 to get completely out of it. I thought he was going to nose in the outside wall a la Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Not quite. Great save there. This Erhardt car's bouncing all over the place, hitting the curb. They're in the grass and the outside wall, crossing each other over. See what happens here in turns 1 and 2. A lot less eventful that time.
Yeah, everything's settling down for just a moment. Got Trevor Keith and Travis Gilbert here, the battle for 5th. This thing's starting to stack up behind him as well. Carter Lynn's going to try and force somebody on through.
I don't like being to the outside of that 22. We just saw him a few laps ago have one of the bigger moments you're going to see without crashing. And that 15 is right on his door, giving him a little pinch into the corner. I'd be nervous if I was Trevor Keith. You're playing with fire right now.
And this has really opened the door for not only Carter Lynn's, but here comes Frank Hughes Jr. He has an opportunity to pick up a few more spots here if he can sneak his way on through. 61 car won his way in by winning Heat 2 and is off to an impressive start here. Maybe going to be able to crack the top 5 if he keeps this up.
He's got to get around that 22 first, hold him up just a little bit. Gilbert is all over the place loose right now. A little too much throttle application in that bright yellow 22. Looks like that Trevor Keith having some connection issues. Outside wall again for Grant Turner. Take a look back at your leaders. They're still right there, still glued together, 1/3 of the way through this race. Burns has opened it up by 3 tenths over Rader, who is 2.3 seconds ahead of 3rd place, Kevin Orlando Jr. Orgette finds himself.
Oh, Lynn's caught the wall.
Saw that 4th spot. And then Trevor Keith moves up to 5th. we still have a monster battle back here. This is 7th through 11th, all fighting for position.
Frank Hughes Jr. might be
Oh,
able
there
to close.
goes,
Oh,
there goes
the window's
Orlando.
around.
I heard the
caution's
bang.
out.
There it is. I heard the bang. I didn't know who it was for. Let's go find out what happened. So he's got a pretty good gap here over Forget. So I don't know if this was a self-spin or what happened here, but we're going into turn 3. And just loose. And then he got hit. Oh, did he blow the motor? I think
It looked like
I think
he
the
was
motor popped.
completely down on power off the 4.
I think the motor popped on that car. Let's watch from the gyro cam. Be able to see the puff of smoke here. Temps look okay. Yep, motor blew.
Wow.
I wonder if that damage you mentioned earlier, if that broke the radiator.
That's the only thing that I could possibly think of. I mean, everything else seemed relatively fine there for the 27, but yeah, a lot of takers on pit road here. Trevor Keiths and Travis Gilbert staying out, but it looked like it was about 5-6 cars all came down pit road, including the leaders.
It's like half the field here.
The night's
Burns.
over for Kevin Orlando Jr. He was running 3rd at the time, too, which is crazy.
Yeah, Justice Murphy also behind the wall, no longer in this race. Yeah, Burns, Rader, Hughes, Turner, and Forget all pitted. That's 9th through 13th on your grid. Top 8 stayed out. We are about to find out how much do tires mean here at North Wilkesboro, which I think we already know the answer. It's quite a bit. This is dangerous, though. If there's only one set of tires available, they just used them 30 laps in. That make me nervous with a field this small.
Yeah, it definitely would be making me nervous.
Because you'd have to think next caution that comes out, whether it be 1 lap from now or 15 or 20 or whatever have you, everyone else is going to hit pit road and forever have a tire advantage over Burns, Rader, Hughes, etc.
Yeah, and banking on there to not be a caution for the next 45 laps feels unlikely, given the way these opens have gone and then the way this race has gone so far with 2 in the opening 30.
That is not a bet that I would make. But regardless, we roll through turns 3 and 4 to complete lap number 30. Field in the hands of Trevor Keith, and he is away. Huge jump.
Wow.
For the 15, he cleared him easily.
Carter Lynn's going to try and follow him through on the bottom. Travis Gilbert, though, not giving any room up high. Those guys so close they could reach out and shake each other's hand if they wanted. Going down the back straightaway.
Yeah,
Gilbert now going to try and put the nose ahead. Is he going to be able to clear? No, he's not.
Door to door through 3 and 4 into turn number 1 now. Higher entry here for the 22. He's going to chop the nose. He got there. Over the 66. Mike, how about that 10 machine? Finds himself battling for the 3rd position. A little further in the field, Rader making some moves. Burns right behind him. Robinson's on the outside wall. I think the 3 drivers to watch right now are all lined up. 53, 9, 61. That's who I got my eye on. These 3 seem to be the fastest drivers in the field at this point. We're 33 laps in. Oh,
Someone's spinning.
The 18 and the 39.
Oh,
both
Grant
around.
Turner's around.
Let's go back and see what
Caution's out
happened.
for the 3rd time.
I saw smoke. It didn't quite register until you said something. This happened in turn 3. We're currently rolling turn 2 right now. Turner maybe get loose. Turner, I don't know if he knew that 18 was there.
Yeah, I don't think he did. Otherwise, I don't think he would have tried getting that low. He's trying to dig all the way down to the apron. The nose of the 18 was there the whole time. Ultimately puts both of them in a tight spot. Here comes a lot of those other cars down pit road now. And much to your point, Now they're going to have a multiple lap tire advantage probably for the rest of this race over the guys like Jeremy Burns and Robert Rader who pit about 8 laps ago.
Yeah, we see Fike, Gilbert, Linz, Alves, and Servich on pit road. So is Robinson on pit road right now. Only 2 cars to not hit pit road throughout this race, Trevor Keith and Trevor Erhardt. I had to read that twice. Like, that's the same name. Eric Trevors, yes. I've been doing this for 14 weeks, and I still don't know people's names. We're working on it. Rader finds himself into 3rd. Burns right behind him in 4th, and Hughes is your top 5.
With not everyone coming down pit road, if there's another short stint and then another caution, I think this falls directly into the hands of Trevor Keith and Trevor Erhardt. But if there's not a caution, with so many cars on fresh tires here, now they could find themselves in a particularly jeopardizing position. Bit of an interesting strategy here. Wasn't expecting a huge strategy race tonight for the All-Star race, with it only being 75 laps, but 3 distinct pockets have formed here. Whether you pit early, pit in the middle, or going to have to pit late.
What I like about
Excited to see how it shakes out.
the pair of Trevors they're now going to be called. This field's pretty small. There's only 13 cars left running after Orlando. Is he back on the racetrack, actually? He is. Interesting.
Hey, there he is.
Maybe it's just a radiator issue then, not an engine issue. So there's 14 drivers on the racetrack. Orlando Jr. 2 laps down, not going to be much of a factor at this point in the event. So if this strategy goes wrong and you lose all your track position, you're only going to fall back to the early teens. 12th or 12th or whatever the case is, right? You don't have to really worry about that. And if you get the tires, say, in 20 laps at lap 60, you might be able to make it through on, 30 lap pressure tires in 15 laps. That's a possibility. So they have a window that they can make something happen. It's going to be an interesting ride to the finish. So we are past halfway, working lap 38 here at the All-Star race. Big launch for the 15 into turn 1.
Trevor squared with a bit of an interesting launch. One got a great one. One did not. 3 wide through the opening corner. Bourget all the way up high around Fike and Linz. Linz gets shuffled out toward the grass.
I don't think I've ever seen someone rip the fence at Wilkesboro. What Alex Forget said Forget about it. He said Forget about it. I'm going to go try it.
Oh, that's incredible.
I do what I can.
Have you made that one before, or is that the first time that one's come up?
I did at one point say, don't forget about Alex. I was just listening to Dr. Dre. But
I've been in the booth here with you, I would have also thought about that joke.
Yes. Well, we do what we can here. New tires have caught old tires.
They have.
The lap time's not too much different, which is interesting to me, because that's 30 laps different on tires. Obviously. Ooh, Erhardt.
Whoa, wow.
That was loose.
Big slide for Hughes.
Erhardt on the outside, that 41. He has not pitted yet. That's the start of this race. Rader has. So has Burns. So has Hughes. I thought they'd be able to make quick work of the 41, who is quite loose off the top side. They're not getting a lot of room either. Nor should he. It's the All-Star race.
So Rader gets on by, Burns gets on by, Hughes trying to do the same here to Erhardt. 41 slowly falling down the running order here. Everything, though, remains behind Trevor Keith, although Robert Rader might have something to say about that here in the turn 1.
Big dive for the 53 to the bottom. He's going to get to the door. Power up off the corner. Give the edge to the 15 into turn number 3. The bottom's been much better all day. You can see they're both smoking the right rear. Oh, there goes a 41.
Oh, Erhardt's around. Caution's out.
There goes.
Just as Robert Rader took the lead. Could be a blessing in disguise here, potentially, for Trevor Keith. Could be his opportunity now that he's out of the lead. Put fresh tires on that bad boy and try and work his way back in there.
I think this was a self-spin here just on the old tires. It looks like it was just a lot of throttle and just snapped around. This is a car that's notoriously hard to save. Didn't hit anything, though. That's good news. Notoriously hard to save when this thing gets sideways, just with the way that it's boxy and the front suspension doesn't work that well. Just once you get it sideways, it's hard to bring it back. But this is the
Luckily
car
for
we all grew up
Erhardt,
on.
No damage.
Say it again, Alex?
I was just saying, luckily for Erhardt, no real damage from that one. And now Trevor Keith into his box, actually overshot it a little bit. See Hughes on pit road here, Grant Turner, Robinson, Erhardt, Forget. Number of cars electing to come down pit road here, potentially to repair some damage, potentially to put a fresh set of tires on there.
We do have a fast repair in this race. Oh, that's how Kevin Orlando Jr. is able to continue on with the fast repair. Forgot about that. One of those for tonight's race. I believe they're the only race that they have one, if I'm not mistaken. Frank Hughes Jr. also used his. So has Sirkovich in the 18. They've all used. And Raider has as well. Actually, they've all used a fast repair. Not sure what Raiders is for. He hasn't hit anything.
I wonder if he just forgot to turn it off if he hit pit lane.
That could be, and those are the worst. I can say from experience.
That they are.
Especially if you need it later.
In my experience, you never need it if you save it, and then the moment you accidentally burn it, you need it the next caution.
That's just iRacing. But like I was saying earlier, these cars are the ones that we start off in rookies on iRacing. So we're all familiar with how to drive these things. Some of us actually enjoy them. I don't know if that's you, Alex. It's certainly not me. It's clearly somebody in the admin team thought this was a good idea. But this is the street stock, low power, clunky, a lot of body roll, a lot of slip angle. Things just is greasy and slides around all over the racetrack, especially when it's 81 degrees Fahrenheit on the surface. But they put on pretty good racing, and we're seeing it here tonight. Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series putting on a show. Chapman car leading, naturally. Robert Rader's been great all season. So we're working lap 49, going to start lap 50. 25 lap dash to the finish.
Yeah, you were asking my thoughts on FOs. These were a car that I enjoyed personally. These kind of cars on short tracks, I absolutely love the drive, but I am horrible at it. Every time I'll do a race in one of these things, it's always outside the top 10, but I always have a good time doing so.
It feels like you're driving a boat in a bathtub some days. Won't turn, no throttle application, but that's for another day. We roll through turn 4. Hopefully for the final restart, Raiders on the pedal, Burns on the outside, and Fike has found his way up to the top side, second spot. We are 3 wide into turn 1. Still 3 wide.
Well, still 3 wide.
Oh,
that's going to get
bobbled
messy.
up.
Hughes with contact. Trevor Keith sideways. Oh, that's a lot of carnage out there. Around goes Robinson.
And that's going to be the caution.
Out.
Is that it was the single car spin amongst all of the not single car spins. Robinson ends up bringing out the caution with a big slide. Let's go back and figure out what happened to cause all this chaos.
Very much a 5-car incident resulting in a single car spin.
So it's going to take a couple looks at it. I think it actually all started with the 18 and the 61 had an issue off the corner. Kind of checked everything up. Let's go have a look there at the 18. Maybe go from a high above view here. So I think off a 2 or maybe into 3, the 18 got checked up the 61. Got Trevor Keith to dive all the way to the bottom. Oh yeah, there it is right there into the back of the 22.
There with Travis Gilbert in the 18.
And then there's cars just bobbing and weaving. And the one tries to avoid it, ends up spinning. Loses a nose piece. I think that
Trevor
was
Erhardt, lucky to get through that relatively unscathed, with everyone else spinning and bouncing around in front of him.
Here, now we have 20 laps to go. 20 lap dash to the finish. Every driver has taken tires at least once. And I think that's it. That's all they have for tires. So you kind of got what you
They
got.
only have the one.
Oldest tires cycle up to the front. Burns and Raider, 26 laps each on their tires. Then behind them, Linz, Fike, Alves, and Gilbert's all have 20 laps on theirs. Forget's got the newest tires up in the top 7. 8 laps old. 18 pitted with Linz, Fike, Alves, and Gilbert. And then 9th through 13th, Hughes, Erhardt, Keith Robinson, Orlando Jr. They all pitted on the last caution. So, like you said, 3 distinctly different groups of drivers with different ages of tire, and 20 laps to see if it makes a difference.
I think the big question mark here in this bunch could be the 66 of Carter Linz. I know he came down with that second set of pit stops while Burns and Raider both came in on that first one. So he's on slightly fresher tires. Can he find a way to use that to his advantage?
It's going to be tough to get around Raider and Burns. We haven't seen either of those drivers get passed all day except by each other. We're going to do one more pace lap around here in North Wilkesboro. Bring us to, I believe, 19 to go when we get the green flag. Might take a pretty aggressive dive bomb into turn number 1 if you're going to see the 66 get alongside the 9. But I've been wrong before.
Looks like someone's really been leaning on the back bumper of that 9 machine as well. Folding in a little bit there on the back bumper.
Just gonna look at it.
Yeah,
Definitely
someone's definitely tagged that once or twice.
had some damage right there. Not going to impact the handling though, as not going fast enough for that rear spoiler to really matter. Great launch for Burns. Raider didn't go.
Gonna open the door for Linz if he can get the throttle down off of 2.
He got it.
Almost cleared himself off the nose of the 53. Instead, Raider hangs around the outside and washed up the track big time there. Linz will move in the second, Fike the third.
Look at open winner John Fike driving his way through this field. Started 14th. Finds himself all the way up to the front of this field. In third spot. Raider got passed by a few. He's back to 4th. 15 laps to go. Next time by, Gilbert finds himself in the 5th spot. Nick Alves. Oh, there goes Raider.
Raider's around.
Great save. Oh, there goes Gilbert.
Oh, but now
they're all
everyone's
wrecked.
stacking up.
That's the whole field.
It's a junkyard off of 2.
Yeah, they got all of them. Didn't miss one of them. Good for them.
That was just. We're
still
under
green. What is going on?
The entire field has wrecked off of 2, and the flagman doing his best impression of an NBA referee, saying play on.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's Jeremy Burns leading out here.
I bet Burns is none the wiser.
I don't think he knows.
Just locked it. I don't even know if he realizes half the field just junkyarded themselves a couple laps ago.
He is out front right now. Cool, calm, and collected as he always is. Just about 10 laps to go here. The all-star race. He's got a mirror full of Carter Linz, however. 66 Silver Bullet may get a shot to get up there.
John Fike, the only other car besides those two with any chance of a potential win here. Robert Raider 2 seconds back, despite the fact that he was sideways in 1 and 2 a few laps ago. Somehow he's one of the only cars who got that thing pointed forward immediately. Everyone else got completely bottled up.
If Trevor Keith was a little closer, I'd say don't count him out either. He was the fastest car on the racetrack that last time. But everyone's running within a tenth of each other, so it's going to be difficult to make a move happen. 11 laps to go for Jeremy Burns.
While we have a quick second, do we think it's possible to take a look at a replay of that absolute junkyard, or is that going to have to wait till after the race?
I think that's going to be an after the race. Bookmark the lap. We'll come back to that later.
Alrighty.
I think by the time we figure that out and get back racing, we'll have already taken the checker flag. These laps clicking off at about 20 seconds per.
Oh,
there goes
caution's out
Alves.
now.
There
Nick
it is.
Alves around.
There is the caution. You get your chance,
It only
Alex.
took him an extra 6 laps between when that caution should have started and when it actually flew.
Here's a look at what happened there. Grant Turner is
39 to
driving
24
the wheels off
already
of this
in
car
there.
tonight. Al just gets loose
Oh,
and
just lost it.
down he goes. Well, let's see if we can find that last incident there. Driver
I want to say
involved
lap
in it.
60 or lap 61.
The 18 was involved in it. This is going to hurt your eyes a little bit, folks. Just bear with me here as we go back here a while. Okay, there's a bunch of cars together. That's a good sign.
Yeah, this is about where it happened next time around here.
Let's look at it
It all
from.
starts with the 22 and the 53, I believe.
So there is the 22 and 53 down to the bottom.
Raider basically cleared himself.
It was the next lap that this happened.
Oh, maybe it was, yeah. I mean, it will literally stack up everybody from 4th on back.
I think it was right here. Yeah, he
There
went
we go.
inside a fight.
Oh, he got
some
yeah.
help. Then Alves got into the
And
22 and 61, and then they're all just
Look at
parked.
that. Yeah, Hughes and Sirkovich were down and out on the inside of the track there, but I guess iRacing deemed them off the racing line, and everyone who was on the racing line was still facing the right direction, pointing the way they needed to go. So no caution flew, I guess, but we're going to walk into a situation where it's basically going to be a green-white checkered finish here for the All-Star race.
Can't script it any better than this. Lynn's on the outside, Burns on the inside, Fike behind them. Raider to Fike's outside. We got 4 cars who I think have a legitimate shot at winning this All-Star race, or maybe we're going to see another
Well, maybe Trevor Keith as well. I mean, he's on the freshest tires.
say rerun of the Clash when Grant Turner drove through, I kid you not, 11 different cars. Go check that YouTube short out. It was unbelievable back in February. Going into the final lap, he was back in the 12th spot. Exiting the final lap, he was your winner by, I think, a few feet over a spinning car. I don't remember everyone who crashed in that incident because there were a lot of them, left and right and up and down. Everyone was wrecked except for the 39. We're going to have 4 laps to go. When we get back to the stripe to settle the All-Star race, edge of my seat, Alex.
You think I'm sitting down? I am standing up in front of my computer right now. That's what's on the line here tonight at the moment.
Power squats for Mr. Gagnon.
Got to. Got to stay in great shape here when you're doing your sim racing broadcasting.
Into the restart zone. Burns going to get a great launch. Lynn's and Fike side by side. 3 wide, a little further back. 22 tries to make a move. Crossover. Oh, he backed out of it. I didn't think that was going to work. Into the outside
in the
wall.
wall.
Fike's going to go to the
Lynn's
bottom.
or Fike get anything together for Burns here with 3 to go. They'll stay side by side for second. A big battle for 4th just behind him. Trevor Keith sliding through there.
They got to clear each other right now, and Lynn's is going to do it. They're 3 wide for the 5th spot. Orlando's back after the blown engine. Good thing for the fast repair. 3 wide into the door.
Oh, Trevor Keith's all out of sorts.
Raider didn't hit the wall. I'm shocked about that. I thought he was going to get sandwiched. Oh, 22's around. No, he's not. Now he's around.
Oh, now he is.
No, he's not.
Just got a little bit ahead of it. Forget sliding through the grass.
Bourgette's
We
going to keep it
stay
pointing in the right
green.
direction.
1 lap to go.
White flag presented by Erhardt Homes. Love where you live. For Jeremy Burns and Carter Lyns.
Well, Lynn's going to have one last dive at it in the 3.
Into turn 3. Not going to get there. Jeremy Burns He's going to win the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro.
Hangs on to it over Carter Linz. Carter Linz was surging those last couple laps. He was pushing to try and make it happen. Ultimately came up just a wee bit short.
Getting some love from his teammate Robert Rader there. Oh, that's a big
Whoa!
one. Oh
the
my
North Wilkesboro
goodness.
flip for Jacob Sirkovich.
Goodness gracious. That? Jeremy Burns, winner here at North Wilkesboro. He led over half the race, although I don't think it was quite as easy as the scoreline makes it out to be. Saw you working in that car quite a bit here tonight. Why don't you tell us about the street stocks at North Wilkesboro? Something a little different today.
Let me tell you, man, they were fun. I felt like we were really close there. Of course, me and Rob were battling there for the first half of the race. I felt like the strategy there to come in before the break was probably the best one, just because I think we only ran 3 other laps before the stage break. And if you pit from the lead, you weren't going to go a lap down. So I definitely felt like that was the best. And I mean, it started from qualifying, right? If me and Rob qualify on the front row, and I think it was all about just trying to manage ourselves past those guys that stayed out at the break. But after that, I caught a break with being ahead of Rob there at the one caution, and I went ahead and took advantage of it. And after that, it was just about nailing the restarts, and there at the end, keeping those guys side by side. That was the name of the game. But yeah, a lot of fun. Didn't get to practice a whole lot with this. Practiced a little bit, but new release car. But I'm definitely gonna go back and run some officials in this because that was fun.
So when did
Gotta
the...
ask you. Oh,
Go ahead, Alex.
Okay, I was just gonna ask you real quick. About 10 laps to go, there was a massive pileup off of turn 2. Did you see that at all out of your mirror, or are you busy looking at the track in front of you? Because there was only about 3 cars who got away. Everyone else got bottled up.
I actually got radio confirmation from my teammate at the time. I didn't see it because I was just, eyes forward and managing what was directly behind me. But I saw all of a sudden the people in my relative turn blue, and I was like, oh, something must have happened. But yeah, I was kind of wanting it to go green from there. But of course, I mean, it's short track racing, man. You're going to have those green, white checkers slash 5 laps to go restart. So overall, just really happy. And, I'm glad that we can get this thing back in victory lane.
For sure. So I'm not sure if you're part of the admin team here at Racing Revolution, this Cup series. What was the thought process behind not doing SRX and switching to the street stocks at what seemed to be the 11th hour?
So I'm not a part of the admin team, but I tell you what, they made the right call. I feel like that was my idea from the start. Is just kind of lingering in the back of my head because SRX cars they kind of drive a little odd. They want to spin on entry and get tight in the center. And before they kind of announced the street stock update, I was like, man, these street stocks drive pretty good around here. And then they decided to call that update, and then the admin team updated. And of course, I was gonna buy these things because they look amazing. But yeah, it was definitely the right call because I feel like if we had the SRX cars, it would have been a lot worse. We actually got some green flag racing tonight, which was great between the heats and the main here. So definitely was the right choice. So I got to give shout outs to all the admin team, even though I'm not part of it. But yeah, huge shout outs to them for making that change, even though it was a little late. But it was definitely the right call.
Now, one more question before we get to your list of people to thank. But when you have a race like this, where you have the different sessions, the heat race first, the consolation race, the feature, what are your thoughts on being only in the feature or having to work through the heat races? Which do you prefer?
Well, if you work through the heats and you actually win your way in, you actually unfortunately have to start at the back, which that's always a disadvantage no matter how good you qualify. So I definitely would prefer to just be able to watch the heats because then you kind of pick up, you can see it from an aerial view, and I feel like I learn a lot from an aerial view like that. Was watching a little bit of the broadcast, watching a little bit. Rob had it up on his screen, so I was able to kind of learn from that. But at the same time, they had this practice up since the heat, so I came in here while I was under caution and went ahead and ran a few laps and kind of got comfortable with how this session is because the heats were a little bit warmer, if I remember correctly, and there was more sun. So definitely being in this session where it's a little bit different weather and getting used to that definitely had an advantage.
Yeah, that's all very good information. One more quick question: was it the Panther, the Casino, or the Eagle tonight?
Uh, at, at the casino,
You got the Casino.
I
I
I
don't know
think
which one's
so.
which. I think the Panther's the original. Eagle and Casino just came out. If you don't know what we're talking about, those are the model names for these new street
Yeah.
stocks. Just curious to what Jeremy Burns preferred your winner here tonight. But why don't you run through that seemingly gets longer every week thank you list, Mr. Winner?
Yeah, I gotta shout out my mom and dad as always. My girlfriend Josie, my cousin Dylan, Coach P, Sonny, my grandma Miss Betsy, for their continuous support week in and week out. Julie, Derek, Caroline, Shannon, Belinda, any other supporters of the league, anybody else that was out there. Element X Racing, we only had me and Rob tonight. But shouting out Caleb and Jeff, they got stuff going on, but that's neither here nor there. Just wishing them, the best. And I got to shout out Chapman Environmental for being not necessarily on the hood tonight, but definitely on the jersey. Buttkicker, Coastal Financial for putting it up tonight and sponsoring this race. Ultimate Exterior Lighting, Erhardt Homes, all about bugs. V Speed, of course, for putting on a great broadcast. I know it was a little finicky going between sessions, so hopefully everything worked out there and all the admins and the drivers. Tonight was really enjoyable, so huge shout out to them as well.
Right on. Well, congratulations, Jeremy, and don't worry, you're still the points leader.
Oh,
All right.
oh gosh.
That is your All-Star Race winner, Jeremy Burns. We'll be back right after this with the interview of second and third and the race results. Stay tuned here on V-Speed. You've been watching the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series. We'll be back right after this.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The wheel gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33. Two
It's a
in
drag
row.
race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
us?
Yeah, I got you.
Rad. Well, it seemed like an eventful night for you. Started off in the open, won the opening heat, punched your ticket to the main event, then nearly drove through the entire field. What was it like trying to go from back to front all night long?
Well, in the heats, it didn't start off well. It went green, and the left side of my headset went out, so I've been on the right side of my headset all night long.
Oh
Uh,
man, that's brutal.
I was happy to, clean air, stay up front through the whole heat. Take it into the main, and just some things played out for me right, and ended up third.
It certainly seemed like things came together at the right time. What was the goal tonight on the fuel strategy? It looked like different cars were thinking about coming down earlier or later around that halfway mark. If I remember correctly, you were one of the first cars to come down pit road. What was the thought process behind that one?
I actually ended up pitting on 35. I was just going to split it straight down the middle. I just felt like having the back end on the run, having the extra, tires there, would have been more beneficial than taking it, 5 laps early like everybody else did. But it worked out for me, splitting it in half.
It certainly seemed like it. Ultimately, a couple spots short. I'm going to ask you one last question here while I'm thinking about it before we let you shout out some folks. With about 10 laps to go, there was a massive pileup coming off of turn two. It was happening directly behind you. Did you see that happening in real time? And if you did, what was going through your mind when you realized you were one of only 3 cars left kind of running up at the front of the field?
Well, instantly, I thought that I had accidentally cut down into Rob. Rob and I have already talked. Racing incident. Those types of things happen. It's just short track racing at that point, trying to be respectful to him. But I look up and I see everybody else crashing after that in the back, and I just had the pedal to the floor like I was running to a buffet. It's best $1.99 buffet in town, that checkered flag, and I was trying to get to it, and you know I'm happy to finish behind Burns anywhere.
Yeah, it's a solid run for you ultimately. A decent third place finish after working your way through the field. Anyone you'd like to thank or shout out while you're up here in the booth?
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it. Mom and Kelly, both huge supporters of me. Watch me every week, every race, every series that I'm in. So thank y'all. Thank you to Fight Take Flight, NASCAR Nonstop, Dano's Seasoning, Yum Yum, get you some. And thank you to the admin team here for putting this together, and those sponsors as well. Did a fantastic job this season, and thankful to be here.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining us up here in the booth, John. A solid third place run here for you tonight, and looking forward to seeing you on track once we start going points racing again next week at Sonoma.
For sure. Appreciate y'all.
That is your third place finisher this evening, John Fike. Back to the front for him. Alex is caught up with our second place driver, the runner up here in the All Star race, Carter Linz.
Hey, Carter, you got a copy?
Right here.
Well, solid run for you tonight. From ninth to second, almost took home the victory tonight in the All-Star race. Talk to us a little bit about your night. It seemed like that silver bullet was pretty quick most of the evening.
Oh, coming into this, I really didn't know what to expect with not really ever running with these guys, with these street stocks. So it was going to be anyone's game. Uh, Knowing this track a little bit, especially just how these cars handle just on my own individually. It's a lot of slipping and sliding, and bumping is always going to be a factor. Uh, it was basically there towards the middle of the end of that race. It was trying to manage those front tires so it wasn't pushing so hard, and cautions were on my side, and was able to just work my way up to the front there.
Yeah, in the closing couple laps, there was that big pile up coming off of turn two that didn't bring out the caution. Kind of left you as one of the only remaining contenders for the lead. Were you thinking anything particular in that moment, or was it all focused on trying to get to the back bumper of the 9?
Basically, yeah, just eyes were glued to that number nine's bumper, that whole time. I didn't really know what was going on behind me. I was tunnel vision straight ahead of me. Just do whatever I can to catch up to him, stay right behind him. So
And you're able to keep pace with them pretty well. Ultimately, coming up just the one spot short, but still +7 on the night. Do you look at a non-points race like this as a way to build momentum for the back half of the regular season here, or since this is not even the same type of car, is this more of just the one-off, happy with the result and reset for next week?
I definitely feel like it is a little bit of a confidence booster. I've had past couple races here. I've kind of fallen off a little bit. Hopefully, coming back in here into Sonoma and then home race at Iowa. Hopefully, I can get back up there towards the front, get a top 5, maybe another podium finish here. Uh, Translating to the next gen car, not really a whole lot you can bring over from this to that, but I'll say finishing here in second place, I'll say definitely is gonna relight a spark to try and get back into those podium spots again.
Well, we're certainly excited to see if that comes to fruition at Sonoma and Iowa over the next couple of weeks. But Carter, while you're here, anyone you'd like to thank or shout out?
I'd like to thank you guys, V Speed. You guys always do a great job every week. Racing Revolution. Appreciate you guys letting me race here with you guys. You guys are awesome. My girlfriend Sarah, I know she's watching upstairs. Hello. Hi. Mom, Dad, I know you guys are watching. Grandma, Grandpa, Aunt, Uncle, everyone else in my family, also all my friends out there. Uh, yeah, I think I'll just keep it short and sweet. I won't have the long list that Jeremy has. So I'll keep it a little
Not
bit more
having the
short and
novel.
sweet. Yeah. So no.
Alrighty. Well, hey, Carter, thanks for joining us up here in the booth. Congrats on the P2 run tonight, and hopefully
you.
we can see you in the booth here real soon when we get back to the points paying races.
Yeah. Hopefully I get to talk to you guys here soon. Yeah, definitely.
Alrighty. Thanks for joining us, and that was Carter Linz, our second place finisher here tonight. Solid run out of that number 66 car, just came up one spot short.
Yeah, no question about that. And that is going to do it for our coverage of the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series in the Coastal Financial All-Star Race. The logo is what threw me off on this one. Apologies, everybody, for that. We're going to look ahead to next week. Going road racing in Sonoma, live June 12th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern here on V-Speed, as we bring you flag-to-flag coverage all season long. If you enjoyed tonight's race, be sure to click that like and subscribe to the channel. You never miss a single race, a moment of the action, as we have more content throughout the week. But for everyone at V-Speed, Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Bradley Cooper, and my co-commentator Alex Gagnon, I've been Morgan Cook. Have a great evening, thank you, and good night.
Chapman's been around for 32, almost 33 years. It's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we've built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
All About Bugs Tennessee Pest and Termite Control is all about family too. Our family-owned business has successfully been in operation in Sevierville and surrounding areas for almost a decade. Especially during these times, a pest-free home is necessary for a sustainable, disease-free home or business. Our services include residential, rental, commercial, hotel, motel, cabins, you name it. Free quotes and inspections for new customers, and most of our services are contract-free. Our All About Bugs Tennessee family is devoted to delivering the best possible pest control service with a friendly smile. Contact us at 865-453-5574 today.
If it's bugging you, you should be bugging us.